Okay.
Shake that body, party that body. Don't fuck with ghosts.
Ooh, we are doing the thing. And in case you didn't get the memo, it is Wear Red to School Day. Obviously, Wudi missed it, but it's fine. You got the white on. It works with the hat. We'll let it slide. Welcome to the pop-off. It is another fantastic episode. Apologies on our tardiness. And also, I want to say that Gene will not be with us today. He had some stuff come up at the last minute, but he definitely sends a hello and a shout out specifically to Sierra. So if you're in the chat already, Gene sends his condolences that he can't come back with you today, a verbal combatants with you today. Lovely Friday. But you know what? Enough out of me. Let's talk to our co-host for the day, and then we'll just jump right into the sports. Caleb, how you feeling, my guy?
All good, brother. You know what I mean? Let's get into it.
There you go. He is ready. He's got it locked and loaded. Wudi, how you feeling, sir?
Feeling good. Yep, y'all got the 49ers red, right, to show Sierra some support. So I respect that, and I'm happy to talk sports with my guys today.
There it is. It is a beautiful day up here in Toronto, so north of y'all border. Unless some of you guys are listening from the Great White North, then thank you and welcome. And don't forget to hit that likes button, that subscribe button, that share button. Let your people know, man, because we're out here with just some casual conversation and aggressive sports stances. So make sure you get up in here. Make sure you jump into that chat because we love when we get to interact with y'all. You guys bring up some points that we obviously forget or don't get a chance to touch on. So please hit us up. And without further ado, NFL is back and it is strong. It is strong. There was a day when Thursday night football games were the bane of my existence. That, I think, is no longer the case. We have had a slew of fantastic Thursday night games. Let's talk about the recap. Caleb, you've been nodding your head in agreement this whole time. So let's talk about this Tampa Bay loss. Tampa Bay 30, Atlanta 36 to topple the Buccaneers and what looked like a routing by Tampa Bay. It looked like Tampa Bay was going to take this thing home. Caleb, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was definitely surprised that Atlanta was able to push it to OT. Well, you know, they got, I mean, honestly, I get Vinatieri and all the championships and what he's done, but that Korean dude in Atlanta is the best kicker I've ever seen. I don't care what nobody say. He is amazing. Like, his range, I mean, he could kick 72 yards, and I'd be like, yeah, he's probably going to make that. Like I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Yeah, Tampa, you know, they got in and blocked one kick from him, right? Which is why he didn't make that other one. But outside of that, that dude is like the Terminator. You know what I mean? The only leg I've seen, well, his leg is stronger, is Janikowski. Remember Janikowski on the Raiders?
Of course.
Hey, right? He's got a leg like that and probably better. And his accuracy is insane. So, it was amazing to see. Kirk Cousins was more, because I've never been big on Kirk. You know what I mean? I always think, you know, like, I thought it was over again. I was like, there you go. He all mad on the sideline. Baker and him got the ball with 1:40 left. You know what I mean? But they had 2 timeouts. And look, they're able to get the ball back. Of course, the greatest kicker of all time. I don't care. I know he ain't got no rings, but I still think he's better than Vinatieri. But he's kicking right through there, overtime, and then Kirk Cousins. Right, now listen, he gets it to a dude who breaks and does the thing. Right? It wasn't like remember when Ben Roethlisberger hit Santonio Holmes in the corner in the Super Bowl? Like it wasn't like that. Like, where it is all the quarterback accuracy, boom, and I mean, it's just right there where you could toe tap, right? He got it to a dude who was able to make a move and then another move, and then there was no more moves, right? Like it was ridiculous. But he gets credit for it, so you got to give credit when credit is due. Kirk Cousins came through like a shiny star. I think that was his most yards ever in the game, like 500, over 500. I think it was like 509 to be exact. 4 touchdowns. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, damn. So, congrats. It was a wonderful game. And yeah, and I feel bad for Tampa because their defense is good, but just wasn't good enough. You know what I mean, on that play. And shout out to my man Baker. I told y'all he was looking like Baker Montana. He had a great game too. You know what I mean? It's quarterback play has been really good so far this season. There's been a couple that are duds, but for the most part, it's been good. So great game last night.
Yeah, return of the Matt quarterback. See what I did there? I gave you a little tease first. You are definitely not wrong. I was on a chat during the game. I think it was at halftime. Shout out to my boys, Ben and the rest of the crew at Hat Club. No sponsor here. I just like them. They're just great. I get all my hats from there. And I was talking to them about the fact that I didn't start Baker Mayfield. I think I put it in our chat too. I didn't start Mayfield. Guy started real hot. Not that yes, he petered out, but he still had 3 tutties, right? It was like 180 tutties. I mean, that's not bad. No INTs, like nothing. Kirk Cousins, like you just said, Caleb, 509, 4 tutties, 1 int. You know, it wasn't a bad game. And you're also talking about the kicker coup. The guy is ridiculous. I think I actually put him on waivers this week by accident. I think maybe.
Best.
Now, for me, Wudi, what were your thoughts on the game?
Honestly, I thought it was a great job by Zach Robinson, the Falcons offensive coordinator. This is a team in the Buccaneers. You know, they have a really solid offense and a defense coached by Todd Bowles, who loves to blitz. And Kirk has not looked good whatsoever when he's had to pick up any foot for any reason. You know, he is a statue, and that's been their Achilles heel, no pun intended, right, is Kirk Cousins recovering from that injury. So for Zach Robinson, I felt like he was drawing up plays in that first quarter. Everyone was open. Every throw Kirk made was just to a wide open receiver. So that's what that shows me, is that they had the right scheme out there to beat the blitz, where Kirk could just be quick to an open receiver. It made the game very, very easy for him. 500-yard easy. So I would say that's probably where my first game ball goes to. But of course, Koo was fantastic. He got me nervous. Missed a couple. But obviously when it came time, he made it. The only thing I'll say about this game is that it's so bizarre to me that the NFL changes its rules depending on the month that the game is played, right? We already had this situation, the Josh Allen rule, where they went into overtime, right? And now Josh couldn't answer. So now in the playoffs, that team can answer. Why is it not the same in the regular season? That makes no sense. Why? I mean, we're playing the NFL, right? It's an NFL game in January. It's an NFL game in October. Why are the rules changing from month to month? That don't really. I don't like that at all.
Is it a change? Because I thought it was the same. I thought you get to answer if it's a field goal, not a touchdown.
In the playoffs, you can answer a touchdown.
Oh,
yeah, as long as they don't get a 2-point conversion or something like that. Like,
right.
They gave the touchdown because of Josh Allen, how they lost to the Chiefs that one year with 14 seconds.
Yeah.
And Josh, they changed it, but they only changed it for the playoffs.
Wow. Well, I guess that's the most important time. They figured, hey man, hurry up, it's Thursday.
Yeah, we didn't expect this exciting game. Yeah, we gotta keep moving. Wow, interesting. Okay.
But
I mean, we're gonna have to look at
so for the Baker Mayfield fans out there, Baker Montana, whatever you call him, he did have a good game. No turnovers, 3 tutties, and he didn't even get a chance to respond. It's just a frustrating way to go out. And I thought they changed the rule for good. I was expecting that. I was like, yo, why are they celebrating? Like, they got to get the ball back. And I had to Google it up because I was like, I thought they changed this rule, but apparently it's just for the playoffs. So.
Oh well, that's great for the playoffs. So at least we know they get another game in the playoffs, which makes all the sense in the world. Because you'd be pissed in the playoffs when that happens and your team just is done. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get it.
Huh, that's really interesting. Yeah, thanks for that. Yo. What up for everyone? Goes what up? Good afternoon or good morning, whatever your time zone is. Once again, you're tuned into the Pop-Off. We're just finishing up our recap of Thursday night's final game that went into overtime. And man, what a game that was. Also, shout out to the quiet and definitely going to get into the Hall of Fame, Mike Evans with 62 yards total, 2 touchdowns. Like I feel like, and I had this conversation yesterday, Mike Evans, he's going to make a Hall of Fame ballot. He's going to make one, and he's going to get in because his low-key stats are ridiculous. It doesn't matter what the team is made up of or who is on that team. The guy is always in the mix. I mean, you can always count on him no matter how bad or good the quarterback is and how bad or good the offensive play is. When he's on that field, you are guaranteed points or guaranteed to spread the offense. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
1,000% correct.
Yeah.
1,000.
It's just crazy because he's one of those guys that I always overlooked in the draft because I'm like, I don't know, he's got so and so behind center this year or whatever, and it does not matter. He's just tried and true. So shout out to the receiver, and also shout out real quick to Shohei Ohtani, who I am wearing his hat respectfully for. I'm supporting him. I've got this bad boy on. The Dodgers play tonight against San Diego. The playoffs are here if you're into October baseball, but check this bad boy out. Now, it might be a little lip because it's off-white, but you got that Japanese cartoon. You got his name. You got the whole shebang up in there. And, of course, check that out. The side patch, which is his number. Shohei, you get the name on there. Ooh, man, this is the LA Angels, and you also got the gray under with the blue visor. But guys, you know what? The red visor. I forgot he got traded, obviously in the offseason, so he's a Dodger now. So that just means I just gotta wear the blue one instead, I guess. Wear that blue one, you know what I mean? With his Shohei on the thing. They got that same patch, the LA patch, you know what I mean? I guess I gotta do this thing. So boom. So I will represent the man, the myth, the legend, Shohei in all his glory. But let's flip it right back to NFL season.
Well, wait, we gotta shout out the Mets though. Did you see that game last night?
Oh yeah. I was wearing a Mets hat all day yesterday. I have all the teams that are in the playoffs. I literally have a hat from all this team. Yeah, that game was ridiculous. Let them know, Wudi. Let them know about that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were down. They were out right down 2 runs. Top of the ninth. Just despair. I can't believe, because they had the 1-0 lead, right? And they let it go in game 2. So now it's just like, oh my God, we were literally 1 inning away. We let it go, and now we're a half inning away from losing this game. But Pete Alonso with the 3-run homer. Okay, 3-run homer, get another run just to add up on it. Mets win 4-2. I called my grandfather. My grandfather is 93 years old. He is the sole reason why I'm a Mets fan. And this man, I'm surprised I can hear today because he was yelling, screaming, oh my Lord, the Mets have won. He was so excited. It makes me so happy to see him get up like that at 93 for this win. He has kept singing the praises of that team. So we excited, and we got Philly, and let's see what the Mets do.
I love a good legacy story, how sports teams are handed down from generation to generation, and with no more than the fact that this is my grandfather. This is his favorite team. This is my favorite team. It doesn't even have to get more complicated than that. I love that. So it's just as simple as that. I love it so much. Okay. I also love football, and we're going to jump right back into it quick, because we've got a couple more topics that we want to talk about. So we covered that Tampa Bay 30 loss to Atlanta. So 36-30 Atlanta win. So with that being said, I mean, those two teams are kind of like, the pinnacle of my next question for the panel. I mean, which NFL team is your biggest contender and your biggest pretender? Because there's a lot of dichotomy in the league right now, and a lot of things that happened that shocked all of us. But let's talk about your biggest contender right now. Wudi, let's start with you. Biggest contender or contenders?
This is gonna sound like this probably is a cop-out answer. But the Chiefs, they undefeated. They go for the 3-peat. Don't matter who's that receiver. We could be the top 3. Us 3 right now on the screen can be their top 3 receivers. Mahomes gonna find us the ball. I think they are as real as can be. Their defense, that's the if you're a Chiefs fan, that's like the best part of this whole dynasty is that now the defense that was a weakness for so long is actually now their strength. Steve Spagnuolo, what he's doing back there. So I would say, yeah, the Chiefs are as real can be, whether Rice is there or Rice isn't.
Okay.
For a contender, I think I'm gonna really. It's crazy, but I think I'm gonna have to go. Well, obvious is Minnesota, right? But I'm thinking Atlanta may be a real contender because of Kirk is serviceable, but he's got a lot of dogs around him. I mean, that Bijan Robinson is no joke. That's the reason why he was able to pass that ball like that. Because whenever they got him that screen or whatever, he was breaking tackles and getting 10, 15, 12, 8 yards consistently, right? That keeps the defense honest, which allows, and you got all those receivers, it allows you to start to dink and dunk, right? It allows an offensive coordinator who Wudi shouted out to do his thing. So I think Atlanta might actually be a real contender. They play in a dome where it's, you know what I mean? Like it's, and that win was big because once you, as you guys know, once you start believing, it adds another layer that people can't get across. And speaking on that right quick, just real quick, Joe Rogan was doing an interview with Izzy. I'm still mad at him about the Dreamers fight. But Izzy said, he said, hey, you know that thing that Yuri was talking about with Poetan, because he was talking about the fight that's coming up, right? He said, that shit's real. He said, that juju, he said, it's real. He said, that belief thing that he got, I'm telling you, it's another level. Like, he's able to go to another level. I've seen it. I fought him 4 times. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. And it was why he said he's going to beat Khalil Roundtree, even though Khalil Roundtree should win. He was like, I'm telling you. So that belief is a real thing. And I think Atlanta has it. Like, last night culminated something inside where that team believes, and they're going to be hard in the NFC to take it, especially if anybody got to go to Atlanta to play them.
There was something that I had heard recently, which is, in the preseason NFL, because you're not really getting all your starters on the same page at the same time, it takes a good couple weeks before everybody to really ramp up. And obviously you're kind of getting into the motions and the swinging thing and into the pace and into the heat. And I think that's what we're talking about when it comes to Atlanta, because the first couple games, I mean, shout out to my Steelers, we got a W from them, but you never know what the cohesiveness is going to be like out the gate. And now we're heading into week 4, and for Atlanta to come through like that, like, and both teams too, like, shout out to Tampa Bay as well. Both teams too, they're doing a thing. And that thing is nice to see. I love Bijan. I'm not completely sold on him yet. I think he probably has another season left before he starts really breaking through. His rookie campaign was fine. His sophomore year right now is okay, but you're right. He is another weapon that people have to worry about because you just don't know. You don't know when that's going to happen. As long as yesterday was 28 yards, so it can happen at any given moment. You're just not sure when that happens. I think for me, the biggest contender, oh man, I think this is a good one, man. I think the biggest contender is, I think it's going to be Houston.
We'll see when they play the Bills.
Yeah, we will, and I think that's a great,
the winner of that is a contender. Whoever wins that.
Right, which is why I picked them, because I think they're going to come over. I think they're the ones that are going to be the ones that'll come over. I think it'll be a fantastic game. Hopefully it's like our Thursday night shootout. But I think Houston is that team for me. What about our biggest pretender? Caleb, let's start with you. Our biggest pretender in the NFL right now.
The Ravens.
The Ravens.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, they're going to do it, and everybody going to be hyped. They all in black, and they look so cold out there. They play at night, it just be glistening. And then Lamar misses a receiver by this much. And it's over. Okay? I'm telling you, they're the pretenders. They do this all the time. They get everybody excited, right? And then dud. So I'm calling it that it's the Ravens. They got Derrick Henry. Guess who they're going to give the ball to run when they need it? Lamar.
That's what they did the first couple games. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to have Derrick Henry, and they're not going to give him. They're going to fake it, right? And Lamar's gonna take it. And they're gonna lose. So I'm trying to tell you right now, the Ravens are my biggest pretender. They do this all the time. It's gonna be great to see. It's like them in Dallas. They never let you down. Always.
Oh, that sucks. Johnny boy, what's happening? Jonathan, what's up? Don't forget you're listening to the Pop Off every Friday at noon Eastern. Don't forget to hit that like, smash that subscribe, and also share. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your moms, tell your grandparents, tell those people. Let's get this thing generational. Right now we're talking about our biggest contenders and biggest pretenders. Wudi, you're up next with your biggest pretender.
I am gonna have to go with the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, let's talk about it. Caleb, I want you to back this up too, because you're emphatically nodding. So go ahead.
That's my second place.
Yeah.
I just say, yeah. I mean, it's not coming from a place of hate. It's just, I feel like they have a lot of good players that aren't great. They have a lot. And that's why they're doing well, right? That's why they have a winning record right now, because they do have a good roster, but it's just not great. And I think when push comes to shove and they do face a great team, they will lose every time. It's just that's just the way it is. Things will never be no, that's just how it is. Though I just think that the Seahawks are a good team. They've faced bad teams, and then you just saw what happened against Detroit. They put up a good fight because they're a good team, but they're not a great team. They are a pretender.
Caleb, you have anything to reinforce?
No, I agree. I mean, it's like, listen, I'm telling you, it's Geno. Listen, when it comes down to it, it's always going to depend on that guy. And I'm telling you, it's what's going to happen. He's going to lock it into a death hit. He's going it's just going to be crazy. And Lockett's going to catch it, but be out for the rest of the game. Then you only got Metcalf, and they're going to double team him. And then that's it. Then you got Walker, and they're going to I'm just telling you, I see it. I already know. I've seen it too much. It's the same movie. I love the movie, though. I go to see it all the time. No, I see this.
Caleb, the precog and also emphatic movie reviewer. Hey, I think for me, it's gonna have to be. Let's see, Mike. What do you got here? Take Geno out of the Geno. Well said. Well, that might be the comment of the day
That's
so far.
Genius, Mike. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's it. Coming from a Jets fan. Wow,
exactly.
That's amazing.
That could only come from a Jet fan. What are you talking about?
That's true.
Their number one fan had the hat inside out with the Indian X'd out. You know what I'm saying? Dennis Quaid. You know what I mean? He was pissed. They're gonna blow it in the playoffs. Like, come on. You know what I mean? It's always your fans that have those kinds of things.
Oh man, facts right there. Last but not least is me. I'm just gonna say the Chargers. I think the Chargers are
I don't even see them as a contender though.
Well, I did because the combo, and these are some of your boys, man. The combo of like Herbert, like Dobbins, Palmer, Johnson, like I think this is another team that is stacked that should be. I don't know if they're contender for Super Bowl, but they should be playoffs every year, easy, hands down. They're in a tougher division. I get that in terms of that kind of that respect. But at the same time, how are we not better than 500 right now? I shouldn't say we, because it's not my squad, but how are they not better than 2-2 right now than 500? You know what I mean with that team?
I don't see a hard division. The only person they got to worry about is Goat Mahomes, and you're not beating him, so you should always be set.
Yeah, you got to get the wild card at that point.
Yeah, I think what you
Herbert's hurt.
Yeah, right. He's back now though. But yeah,
I think, like he came back.
He's playing. He's not at 100% though. He playing. Right now, he's Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying? He's playing at like 80%.
It's like, why would you do that? It's 18 games. Take 2 off. Get yourself like think about that. Like people listen
because they're trying to be contenders.
Why Jordan Love came back? He saw Malik. He was like, Coach, I can play. Yeah.
Well, there you have the biggest contender and the biggest pretender. We've got different choices all across the board, and that's fantastic. Let us know in the chat who your biggest contenders and pretenders are on the Pop Off
The Bills just lost their number one receiver for Sunday against the Texans.
Oh, boy.
Khalil Shakir is ruled out.
Wow. Just a hot
Listen.
fire.
And if that's why Josh, watch what happens.
Caleb the precog is back. That's what the P on his hat stands for. Precognition.
Now I'm going for the Bills. Like I want to see Josh do it now. I love the Texans. I love seeing them, but they're loaded. They are loaded. Yeah. Like they should not lose this game. And the Bills defense is garbage at that. Like don't act like the Bills got some top tier defense or something. Nah.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. Well, yeah, we'll see. But but Josh Allen, he'll make it a game. He'll make it a game no matter what. He's gonna make it a game. Can't count that guy out. Speaking of, after week 4, we just had our first game of week 5 last night. But after week 4, who do we have as our MVPs?
I hate that the MVP is just the best quarterback award. I would have given it to CMC last year, but for the purpose of this, these 4 weeks, it does belong to a quarterback, and that quarterback is Samuel R. Darnold. Let's get it. He has been him, the league leader in passing touchdowns coming into the week. Is Sam Darnold? No one has thrown more than 7. He has 11. Right? He is. Just taking the league by storm. Like we all knew, talking about Jet fans, we all, and when I say we all, I mean like 10% of us knew that he could. Gene was one of them.
Yes.
It's a shame
Gene led the campaign
to sing his praises.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't really go wrong with that choice. Caleb.
No, I think he is right now, clearly. Like, of course, because it is a quarterback award. Yeah. And he's playing the best at the position at this moment. It's a long season. He got 14 more games to go. Well, 13 because he gets a bye at some point. That's a long road. You know what I mean? So we'll see how long he keeps it. But through a quarter of the season, without question, hands down, he is.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I don't even know if I was trying to think of or come up with another a contender in that respect, but I don't know. I don't know if there is one. I really don't. I think that's the move. Who knows if Derrick Henry keeps trending? Maybe we see a running back at this thing. Maybe, but who knows? Who knows? Yeah, it's a big maybe. Who knows? Great. So now we've taken care of the MVP. We've also taken care of pretenders. We've also taken contenders. We've also taken care of Thursday night's game. Wow, there's going to be a little bit more movement that's happening in the NFL. And right now, I'm talking about this open season. Who is the best fit for the one, the only Davante Adams? Where do we think he's going to go? Oh, Caleb.
I think he should go to New Orleans. I think it's better for him. It's inside a dome. He's got a lot of fast receivers. He's got a great running back. Not that the Jets don't, but he wants to go to New York because Aaron is there and he loves Aaron. And like sometimes, you know what I mean? It's like Scorsese and De Niro, Joe Pesci and Scorsese, like directors that just got their guys that they make movies with and they just know what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. And I think him with Aaron is going to be nasty. I think Aaron said he's the missing piece all the way from London. Said, oh, yeah, that guy's the missing piece, right? Because Aaron's like, I like Lazard, I like these guys, but come on, man, right? So if the Jets could start their run defense, they got Brees. I don't understand what the hell's going on with that level caliber of a running back, and he's like non-existent. You know what I mean? He's not leading in any running back category. He ain't doing nothing, right? So I don't know, but of course he would be a great fit there. But him in New Orleans, without weather, around a bunch of young dudes, right? That defense is wild. Not saying the Jets don't. The Jets have a better defense on paper. Y'all get it, all of that. But I'm just saying New Orleans got something going on there, and he loves Derek Carr too, and they play together. And I think that mixture with Shaheed and all like man and Olave and my boy what's my boy in the back? I was just saying his name, forgot it.
Kamara.
Huh?
Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, come on, man. You anytime you play with a brother who rock a full grill while he's playing, Like, listen, it's a different energy there. You know what I mean? So I think that energy would be great for him. But again, I think he'll end up in New York because I think that's where he really wants to go back to Aaron. Like, he's like, man, listen, I love Uncle Rico, but come on. He's like, I need somebody that could, you know what I mean? And after requesting it, I was like, yeah, that's where he want to go. He said Jets or Saints, which is Karl or Aaron. Nobody else. So there's that.
Ooh.
So I think it's the Saints. I would do the Saints if he's thinking about winning and doing that, because I still don't, even with him on the Jets, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh man, I mean, look, it's definitely appetizing. And when I say I use that word specifically because the food down there is out of control. The flavors are nice. I will go down there in a minute. If I was Davante, that's where I'm going. What do you think, Wudi? You going to New Orleans, eat some of that gumbo or what?
Yeah, well, I might. I gotta agree that the Saints are a better fit than the Jets. I am probably the only Jet fan on planet Earth that is not just salivating at the idea of having Davante Adams on the team. I don't think he will make the impact that Jets fans expect.
Exactly.
What Jets fans need is an edge rusher. Right, Hassan Reddick didn't show up, and then the best edge rusher we had, Jermaine Johnson, tore his Achilles. We cannot stop. We cannot create pressure on a QB. We have Bo Nix just beat us at home. Couldn't stop the run either, right? Like, I mean, if Davante is gonna get off the line and create pressure on defense, okay, all right. But last time I checked, he was a wide receiver, and I just don't think that the Jets really need one. Obviously, yes, it would improve the wide receiving core. But again, the biggest issue with this team is run defense, pass rush, all the defensive line stuff, and that's not Davante's position. Allow me to throw a dark horse in there,
of course,
because QB isn't important to him, and he has a chance to play with a QB that is very good, that currently doesn't have a top dog receiver. And he would clearly be the top dog receiver of the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my God.
I mean, they just lost Diggs, and they're having fun doing their thing, just Josh and the kids. Oh, here you go, Khalil. Here you go, Keon. Okay, Dalton, it's your turn. Okay. But if they want to get serious and have that guy who on third down, he knows will create that separation needed, to convert on third downs and for those big plays, then Davante, that is somebody, or that is a fit where it clearly gets the team to the next level by giving them something they don't, already have. So I think that's a supreme fit.
I think that would be
that's a good one. I like that. It's just he makes the rest of the receivers, he takes so much pressure off of them. Because he's gonna demand a double team no matter what, and that lets Kincaid, that you don't like, that's nasty, and then Cook get to cooking. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, man, like that's a good one.
He would just make everybody that much better. Like in terms of just his energy and just his style, it would really change up the dynamic and the chemistry that Buffalo already has there. Because right now they're identity-less, if you will. I think when they had everybody else there last season and the season before, there was a clear identity. You knew who the Bills were. Right now they're in a state of purgatory, and I think Allen is doing his best, and he's top tier. When he's like getting people the ball, he's jacked. Everybody else gets jacked. But I think if you add a powerful receiver like Davante that demands the respect, I think that changes the whole game, especially in the AFC, let alone just on their immediate squad. That's a great dark horse right there. I agree 100%. I agree for sure.
Let the record show, though, I clearly do not want that to happen.
Right? No, I don't think it will. I don't think he wants to go there. I don't think he wants to go there.
Oh man, it's like you gave us everything and they just took it. He's like, nah.
No, I'm just saying, because I know the Jets fans are being, like, Wudi. First you say he don't fit the Jets. Now you're saying he should go to, the number one rival. Like, not like I'm not saying all. I'm just, if I'm Davante, right? If I'm his, brother or cousin, cuz, where do you think I should go? That's probably where I'll say, But as a Jet fan, I don't. I would prefer if that didn't happen.
Well, I hope the rumor doesn't stay true where you take 23andMe and find out you're related to Davante and he goes to Buffalo, then that's on you, bro. Then that is directly on you.
So about the Chiefs. Could you imagine if he went, if the Chiefs stepped up? Because the Raiders are saying we just want a second round draft pick and some cinnamon and sugar on that thing, right? Yeah. So whoever comes to it, imagine if Goat Mahomes just looked at Andy and was like, "Go make that happen." Listen, hey, Davante, he wouldn't be mad. The only reason why he didn't mention him is because they're in the same division. So the Raiders would be like, all right, well, you gotta add 2, right? Yeah. Like now you got, because him with GOAT, that is horrific.
Yeah.
That's I mean, they don't even winning with nobody.
Yeah,
I know.
And then you get somebody.
Dude, listen. What? Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, that's the only reason why he didn't mention they're in the same division. And I don't think the Raiders would be as amped to do it, but they might. Business is business. You know what I mean?
And he fits the hole that they're trying to fill now. I mean,
everybody fits every hole, everything else. There's no player that can't fit with that dude over there. Like, there's just none. He'll figure it out. Brandon Cooks, we got it. Figure it out. You know what I mean? Like it's just like he will turn them into a superstar.
Yeah. I mean, and if he wants to think about getting a chip right now, I mean, it's
Dude,
one of those moments. Yeah.
Them or the Saints. The Saints got a shot. That offense is nasty. And that deep, like I'm telling you, man, it don't matter that the Eagles won that one game. Like that don't matter. Like, Like I'm telling you, they got something cooking. They're the biggest competitor to Atlanta in my contender thing.
Yeah,
1000%.
I agree. So now after that conversation about Adams, what about the other trade deadline? I mean, the trade deadline's coming up. Was it November 5, I believe, 4 p.m. Eastern. That trade deadline is gonna creep up quick.
Don't nobody care because the world's gonna change that day. Are you kidding me? They're only talking about who the real trade, who's going to replace Biden. Don't nobody care about who's going where on what team on November 5th. At least here in America, I know you up north, so it don't matter. But it actually does matter for y'all.
It matters here too, bro.
But let me tell you something. Won't nobody give a shit about who goes where on that day. That will be the lowest covered trade deadline in history. They were like, Patrick Mahomes is on the Ravens. They were like, yeah, we'll talk tomorrow. Yeah.
Is it the same day like that? Are they that close?
I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, November 5, yeah.
Yeah, that's election day. Don't listen.
That's
yeah.
Everybody in the NFL can switch and nobody would recognize till the next day. They would.
Yeah, it's pretty messy out there. I mean, okay, so other than you guys, trading presidents,
I would say Amari Cooper is somebody to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Cleveland Browns winning their division, which I will gladly put a clown nose on for that take. I just didn't think Deshaun would be this much of a step back from 55-year-old Joe Flacco last year, where they almost were like unbeatable. With Joe Flacco throwing 300 yards and then the defense stopping the other team from getting 300 yards. It was very simple, right? Defense was suffocating. Offense was moving the ball. Now the defense is still suffocating, right? They've done fantastic against almost every team they faced, but the offense is just it cannot move. Give it to Jameis Winston. I know 30 for 30, but like the man has thrown 500 yards in a game. We're talking about Kirk Cousins right now. Jameis been done that. You want to move the ball, give it to somebody who can throw the ball. But they're not doing that. So if they're just punting on life, punting on the season, then free Amari Cooper because he would definitely be able to help a whole lot of teams in this league. He's still one of the best route runners in football.
Right. I feel bad for old Watson. You know what I mean? Who knew how much he needed his spinach? You know what I mean? Who knew?
In whatever shape or form, raw or smoothie or like whatever he needed, however he needed to contain it, like a pill that dissolves in water.
Whatever it is.
I just want to stay on this for just a second. It is unbelievable to watch the fall from, I want to say grace, I guess, Houston Pinnacle.
He was
Grace.
top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, like he's the reason why Houston is where they're at now. He completely took that franchise and put gas in it because of him. You know what I mean? Like, we can't act like that wasn't it. That's what got people excited about the team, and JJ Watt wanting to go play there and all of that. Like, you know, come on, man.
Yeah, it's sad to see, especially again. And Wudi, you've said this like I think 2 years in a row, because since we've been doing this pod at least, that the Browns on paper have been, at least for the last 3 or 4 seasons, no joke, one of the most dangerous teams in the entirety of the NFL.
Without a debate.
The offense was silly.
Yeah.
And every season, especially in the last 4, they have been able to choke like nobody's business. It's been bananas.
Quarterback is everything in this league. That's why Dak Prescott is the most paid, highest paid quarterback, and it's only because of the system. It's not him. It's because wait till the next quarterbacks come up. Wait till Josh Allen's contract. Wait till Goat Mahomes like it's gonna be insane. But he's the first to benefit from that. But again, like it's a quarterback's thing. And you were talking about Joe Flacco. He could be 155. He's still throwing for more yards in the game than A-Rod. A-Rod ain't threw for 300 yards in the game since 89. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I'm like, but I'm trust me, I'm only joking. I do not think Joe Flacco is anywhere in the vicinity of a quarterback that Aaron Rodgers is. But it's just very funny to see in 26 games he ain't threw one. Flacco just come out and was like,
yeah, now he's out here on the Colts doing the same thing.
Yeah,
right.
He's got a resurgence, man. He's a second coming, this guy, and he's not messing around with his time. He's no stakes.
You can't keep him down. He's like a cat. There are 9 lives. Just keep coming back.
I want to add another QB to the mix. I'm thinking, I know this is supposed to be an impossibility, but the way that things have shaped up for the Carolina Panthers and your boy Bryce Young, listen, I know that they say they were never going to, nor will they ever trade him. But listen, he might need to be traded. He might need to just leave that system. There might be a deal that's enticing enough to get him out of that system because it's not working. It's not a thing. Caleeb, give me those thoughts. Give me all of those thoughts right now. All of them.
You can't trade what don't nobody want.
I know, man, but
you ever see those couches that be on the street, free couch, and that shit be there for 6 months? Nobody want that. Nobody want that, because if it's free, what that means? What happened to it? Why are you giving it away? Why you don't want it, right? They see that. That's what that's like. And I feel bad as a human being for another human. I could imagine what he feels like. It's the same thing that happened to Zach Wilson. Like, I feel like that level of embarrassment and like world like on you, like that sucks. And then for Bryce to see the kid that he competed against all the time, who he always beat through Pop Warner, all of that, even in college, is the man. Could definitely compare to you. Like everybody knows it's Goat Mahomes, but compared to you, he's Goat Mahomes. It's not even close. And you guys were competitors. And it's just, I feel bad for him. And the reason why the Carolina would never get rid of him, because they can't. Don't nobody want him. Because he's not even a running quarterback. Fields at least had that, where a team was like, well, shit, at least we know we can run this PO, this running game with him and Adam in, and he can throw it a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's like he don't even have that. And he's undersized. I mean, and he's not Kyler Murray's speed. Kyler Murray's smaller than him, but Sonic the Hedgehog type speed, right? So that makes him viable, and he's got a cannon for an arm. So again, I feel bad for Bryce. I don't think the Carolina Panthers could deal him if they wanted to. It's going to take a coach who sees something in him that's like, I know how to get that out. Without that, it's his career is over. It's already done. They're gonna, you know what I mean? It's like, what are you gonna get for him? Tell me what you're gonna get for him.
That's tough. That's tough to have the badge of, the number 1 overall pick in 2023, and then you're now just hanging on to the bench and making sure.
I saw it happen to the number 2 pick.
Yeah,
I did. He was everything. He was supposed to be. I mean, come on. The look, the pretty mom, the New York, the green machine. Come on, to nothing. That's what. Man. Listen, it does. That's a man. Listen, that is terrible.
Nah, I do think Bryce. Well, I agree with the point that his trade value right now is almost nothing. But I think it's brighter. I mean, because the major difference between Zach and Bryce is that Zach was there, we're talking about 4 years, right? So a very large, sample of games, and then, he had the offensive rookie of the year, right? Garrett Wilson, who was producing, and when he kept getting hurt. So he would get hurt, and you would see Joe Flacco throw for 350 yards to the same people on the same offensive line that Zach Wilson is doing. And I know that's literally what is happening right now with Andy Dalton, because Andy Dalton just did this to Bryce Young this year, and I think actually also last year. But the difference is that there aren't proven commodities on the Panthers. Adam Thielen was. But he's the oldest receiver in football right now. I would say it's a little different. Like, if you have a team where your infrastructure is looking good, like for example the Seahawks, right? You have DK for the foreseeable future. You have JSN, their slot guy, for the foreseeable future. You have Kenneth Walker. Why not take in a Bryce Young? Have him see what Geno's doing. Geno is not a spectacular athlete by any means. Geno wins games with this. Right? Have Bryce, who is a little bit faster, who is a little bit more of an accurate thrower, learn from this. And then when he's ready, you have DK, you have those guys. I think there is a path for him to kind of have that type of bounce back in the league. Whereas Zach Wilson, he's ass. He ain't never gonna be nothing.
No, I get it. And I just think, because I think it's a mental thing for them both. And that is the hardest obstacle to defeat yourself, is the only mission in life anyway. And it's the hardest thing you can ever do. And they're both it's facing a mountain to defeat that. Then you see Andy Dalton come in with the same ingredients and make a damn casserole. And everybody like, man, this shit is good. What you putting in? You know what I'm saying? It's like with your same ingredients, he turns that into something. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, that hurts you more. You're seeing young kids come in. You've been in the league 2 seasons, 3 seasons, whatever. I think it's 2 for Bryce. But let's just say, for sake of argument, 2. It could be 3, but that's not the point. The point I'm making, you see a dude in Washington named Jaden with braids and diamond studs, just all on the camera. I mean, come on. You're like, what are you like? I'm telling you, man, it's like you like the mad rapper. I'm on my 4th album, yo. I'm still living with my mom. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
My shit is more John Blaze than that. It's like you are upset. Like, I'm telling you, that does something. It's all to your mental. These
kids, when they come in hot, and they have to perform out the gate. I think that's what we're learning. It's like, if you're gonna put them in this situation, they have 3 out of 5 games have to be amazing for them to get over the mental hurdle, because we're going into week 5 now, and we're seeing what that young man's doing over the Commanders. We're seeing now, and this is his 2nd week in a row where he's like, okay, same thing that happened. It took a minute, but he stayed in it. He stayed focused. He stayed in it, and we didn't get that last year with Young. We also did not get that this year with Young in his 2nd year. 2 games in, boom, you out.
They don't have time. They don't have time to wait.
Especially franchises like that. They're looking for. Hey, let's be clear, folks. We're not talking about them looking for the chip, but we are talking about them to turn to turn the page to get into the next chapter so they can ramp up this franchise. And this franchise has been like down and dirty for I would say close to, it's not quite yet, close to a decade though. It's been a bad squad. You know what I mean? They've had glimpses, but overall not great. So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, they had Jake Delhomme. They was doing good back in the day. See, a lot of you know what I'm saying? If you don't remember Jake, you know what I'm saying? Then they got Cam. You know what I mean? Like, they stayed. The Panthers have always been pretty much there, but then they took a chance, and it sucks that the valley between college and the pros is littered with a whole lot of bodies, man. It's a rough gig. And I just feel it'd be bad. And Wudi, before you jump in, I'll just say I think he has to get out of the spotlight, and kind of people got to kind of forget about him, and then he can reemerge because you don't have all that pressure. Nobody's looking. It's what happened with Geno. After Geno left New York, I was like, they wrote him off. People forgot about him. And then all of a sudden he makes you know what I mean? That's what Bryce would need. The pressure has to leave. Like, as long as it's on him, it's going to be hard for him to come out of it.
Completely agree. Like that's what I was saying. Like, that's why I said the Seahawks too. Is because, you know, that mentorship of, you know, Geno's mind. He had to do everything that Bryce is doing. But just to go back on the Panthers specifically, their current owner, David Tepper, I believe is his name, is probably the worst owner in all of sports. Like, everybody here, I live in North Carolina. Everybody here hates him.
You can say with confidence, yeah.
Like, hates his guts. And I didn't, because they don't, you know, nationally televise, you know, things, you know, the stories about him. So I didn't know. I wouldn't know, I don't think, if I didn't live here. But they definitely despise him. What he's done, going to you know, bars and or restaurants, and, you know, cursing out fans who, you know, say something to him. He's thrown drinks from his press box at his own home stadium to his own fans. And then let's talk about how he did have a promising roster. He had DJ Moore. He had Christian McCaffrey, the best running back in football. And what did he do? He traded them for no reason, for no return. 4th round pick for elite players. Then how is Bryce Young even a Panther? Were the Panthers the worst team in football? No. They traded 3 first-round picks to move up 4 spots to trade this man after trading the weapons that he, you know, imagine a rookie QB that has Christian McCaffrey. Like, oh, I don't have to throw it every time because I have the best running back in football. That has DJ Moore, somebody who will reliably get open. But no, trading them all away, and now you traded away the first 3 first-round picks. So for the next years to come, you can't even draft an elite talent. Like, he
put all his stock in Bryce.
This is a tempered situation. Unfortunately, I don't if CJ Stroud was drafted to the Panthers, he would be looking the same, in my opinion. Maybe a little bit better because he's a better athlete. Mm-hmm. So I don't think, you know, his low light reel would look the same. But in terms of overall, like, oh, the Panthers are doomed, yes, they would still be doomed because Tepper is mismanaging the team.
Woo. You heard it here first on the Pop Off. Once again, that's who you're listening to. That was my man Wudi just popping off, and Caleeb was just stoking the fire. So we went deep on the Carolina Panthers, which that was just off the cuff. We had no idea we were going to go there, but we did it anyway. And you're also listening to the Uptown Sports TV network. If you're on YouTube or Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, or any of the socials, don't forget to drop in a comment there, or hit a like or share, subscribe, you know, all the things that you do on the socials, because we're going to be here for a minute. But there is some people that are only going to last another minute. I'm talking about some head coaches on the hot seat. Man, there is some teams that need to get rid of their coaches or do their best to keep them. Who do we think is on the hot seat? This is a free-for-all. Any one of you guys can take this one and go ham.
Both of our coaches, Caleeb. Definitely. seat is pretty warm. I would actually. I don't know if there's another. Maybe Zach Taylor, the coach of the Bengals, was up there too. But I would say the two hottest seats are probably Sirianni and Saleh right now.
Yep, and don't forget the old guy in Dallas.
Oh yeah. Mike McCarthy.
Question. It's those three. Like, one, because Saleh and Aaron Rodgers don't get along. I don't care what they say. Aaron's trying to be on his spiritual thing. That's ayahuasca talking. He don't like that dude at all. Anytime your quarterback, your coach says you could work on the cadence, like, and then you say, that's one way to do it.
I love that kind of response. Like, oh, so that's it. For sure no, without saying no at all. Like,
right? You just said that's one way to do it. Or we can hold people accountable. He ain't just talking about the line, talking about your ass, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, the owner heard that. Also, Sirianni, stop it. He should have been gone last year. You don't lose 10 games in a row, damn near, and go 10-1 and then lose everything. Right? That's your fault. You know what I mean? Like he's got to go. Like, I just don't think he's got it. They can't get rid of Jalen because they've already paid him too much. The team would lose too much, so they got to keep him. If you got to pick between the two, Sirianni's got to go, and I think it needs to be Sirianni. He absolutely needs to go, right? And then, Zach Taylor, I think his team, with sometimes they're numb to your style, like your voice. They need something new. It's not that, because I don't think it's the players. I think they got a phenomenal roster, right? But anytime you got receivers who feel like you don't care about them, like you're not trying to get deals done, and Jamar Chase showed me a lot of character because he could have went prima donna on them for all that's been happening, and he hasn't. He's gone and balled out, right? Which, again, points to, like, Zach's got to figure it out. And I think with Joe Burrow and that team, I think if they keep going where they're going, because I think the Ravens beat them, because the Ravens are going to be big pretenders. They're going to have everybody hyped, and they're going to lose later. They like the AFC version of Dallas. I'm telling you, just wait. They're going to drop later. But the Bengals, I think he's gone after this season if they don't let them not make the playoffs. Like, I'm telling you, he's absolutely gone. But I think Sirianni's gone unless we make a deep run into the playoffs. Outside of that, he's out. And you already know what's going to happen in Dallas. If they lose in the first round, he's out. If they don't make it, he's not even going to get to the last game of the season. They're going to be an interim coach. Like, they'll let him go in week 16 if they realize they can't make it. Mathematically eliminated. You know how that happens? Yeah, done. So I agree with Wudi. It's those guys.
I'm going to throw a couple more coaches in the mix and get your opinions on both. I'm going to say Doug Peterson, Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
But nobody care about the Jags.
Doug Peterson is he actually might be number one. I'm not gonna lie.
For sure he's number one. My favorite is the reaction that you guys had at the exact same time, and that thing was sync. Okay, great. So we're both on board with that. Okay, or all three of us are on board with that. Another one, Brian Debo. I mean, the Giants, like, what's up?
Oh,
but he doesn't have the groceries. He just don't know how to make a casserole. That's his problem.
You
got to make casserole. You got to throw all the shit in there and throw some cheese on it and some seasoning. And then,
I really think Neighbors is saving his job. Like, Neighbors is having an all-time rookie season right now, and I think a lot of that points to what Dable's doing. Like, he is trying his best to do the sophomore year Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs plan with Danny Dingles, as Gene would say, and Malik Neighbors. They have limitations there, but Neighbors has really, really, really been producing. I don't think, if I'm Dable and I'm, on my knees begging for this job, you cannot replace that type of production, right? I don't think you can just call in any QB coach and be like, all right, be the head, or any offensive coordinator and be like, all right, let's reproduce this. So I think Neighbors is keeping Dable alive for a little bit.
I agree.
Okay.
So what if What if our boy Bryce was in New York? Would it be any different? No.
You asked that question just so you could answer it.
Because it's funny. It's funny. To me,
we gotta jump into our picks this week now because we already know what happened last night's game. Atlanta came back in overtime and they ended up being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But there's a whole slew of matchups that are happening. Once again, the 1 o'clock games are dominating with only about four o'clockers, and then 8 p.m. That's all Eastern times. So let's go through these quick as we did last week. I feel like that ran real nice. So then you guys give us a pick, and if you want to say a little extra, go ahead. But if not, then we'll just keep moving. First up, 9:30 a.m. because they're playing in London, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, who my Arsenal Gunners are playing tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Go Gunners, is New York at Minnesota.
Well, technically, I mean, they both at London, but I got you. We are the away team. This is Sam Darnold revenge game. His very first game as an ex-Jet was against the Jets, and he smacked us. Now, here we go. He's an MVP candidate. You got to smack us one more time. Give me the Minnesota Vikings beating the New York Jets.
There you go, Caleb.
Baby oil all day. That's all I'm saying. Sam Darnold's he's just walking up to the presser and just putting a bottle of Johnson & Johnson right in front of him. It's a wrap. He greasing cheeks. Are you kidding me? With that offense? Oh man, yeah. I think is that the Jets D would have to have a remarkable day. But you know what I'm excited to see? Sauce against Jefferson. I'm trying to see if Sauce. Listen.
Sauce and game cooked. It's not even.
That's messed up. I want to see it though. I want to see it. So I'll be looking forward to seeing that because there's a lot more. It's not just Jefferson. That Vikings offense.
Yeah.
That Addison is boy.
Addison and DJ Reed. That might even be like that's going to be a matchup. DJ Reed played out of his mind. The last couple of games. But, So, I mean, Jetta. He's. But I'm
with Wudi. I'm taking Minnesota on this one. I think.
Great. Carolina at Chicago.
Chicago.
Oh,
I love that. I love that. It's
I think. Look, I think Caleeb is overrated. Gene is phenomenal name, but I do believe he's overrated. But I think he's got a good team. Like they're not whack. You know what I mean? And the Panthers, I think you kind of saw what they like. They're good, but it's just, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But Dalton is, but I'm just gonna go with the Bears. I like DJ Moore, and I like the rookie receiver. Huh?
Oh no, Odunze.
Yeah. Can't pronounce his name, my bad, but him. You know what I mean? So we'll see. And I like Swift. I was mad that we let him go till we got Saquon. I was like, well, okay, you know what I mean? But like, no, seriously. But I like Swift. So it'd be good to see.
All right. Let's go Baltimore, Cincinnati.
Baltimore.
Oh, Ravens. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, great. Miami at New England.
New England.
Give me Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Yeah, this is a tough one.
No, it ain't.
But
it's not tough. Yo. I mean,
they don't believe. They don't. But the coach is doing press like.
McDaniel's your boy.
I know. That's how I know his heart is broken. It's not in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. That means something, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. When the coach coming in, hey, coach, good morning. Yeah.
He knows he's in for a hard day, and he hasn't even done anything but sit down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He knows he's in. Well, listen, when Tua went down, it did break his heart because you could see it, and I think the whole team was shattered because of the expectation, but they knew what they had. They knew the product that they had and that they're bringing, and things weren't quite working out. And then once that concussion happened, it was like completely downhill after that. So
that's why I think the Patriots can beat them because they want to. They want to show that they can, and it's different. And I think it's in New England too.
It is in New England. It's a rivalry game too, right? So yeah, that'll be something. Cleveland at Washington.
I gotta go Washington with
Jack Daniels all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll move away from that one. Yeah, let's walk away from that. Indy at Jacksonville. So we got the Colts and the Jaguars.
Jags getting their first win.
Oh, that's a good one. Because I like the Jags. I think they got a really good team on
They
paper.
do. They just can't put it
Something
together.
happening, and I think it's Doug. So you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So because the Colts.
I don't think Anthony Richardson is playing. I think it's Flacco again.
It's not. It is Flacco.
Okay, yeah.
You know what? And I think Trevor Lawrence is I think he's so good to me. But
Me too.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Colts. I'm gonna go with the old head.
Okay, I was gonna go Jags. I'll go Jags on that one. Buffalo at Houston, the game we're all talking about. This is a 1 p.m. game. This is gonna be huge in the ratings. What do you got?
I'm taking Josh. I don't care. I love the Texans and I expect them to win, but I'm not going to leave Josh just hanging like that. He by himself. He ain't got nobody. I'm pulling for him. You know what I mean? He's my favorite quarterback. Like him and Patrick are like, I just can't. I just let all that go. Like, I love watching them. So I want to see what he does. I don't expect him to win, but I'm just picking him because I know ain't nobody else going to.
I actually might pick them, to be honest. The Bills have been they surprised me. I thought they were going to be trash this year. And Josh is playing out of control. I don't even think he has a single turnover all season. The Texans have been, up and down. They got smacked by the Vikings. I mean, they're still trying to figure out life. They had a nail biter against the Colts. I don't think I think it's going to take time for them to figure out, life with Diggs and all that type of stuff. I know Diggs is trying to go off though, right, against his old team. I'm gonna go Buffalo.
I'm gonna say whoever scores a touchdown first wins this game. So I don't know. So that doesn't necessarily mean that lead the whole time or keep going. Like I just think whoever scores a touchdown first, I think that's going to be the catalyst and the changer for this game. This game is going to be a wild one. I'm hoping it's a wild one because these two teams on paper, and not only that, the way that they've been playing. Granted, Houston, like you said, Wudi, has been a little bumpy, a little rocky in the last couple games. But yeah, I'm thinking whoever scores first. The Vegas Raiders at the Denver Ponies. What do we got?
Give me the Broncos, and I know they beat you, but no, they've actually had a pretty solid season. They've only lost by one score, and then they smacked the Bucks that we just saw play well last night. Then they beat the Jets and the Raiders. Antonio Pierce is too worried about beefing with Davante. They got a lot of things going on right now, whereas the Denver have a singular focus. Sean Payton has those young kids focused on one thing. So I think the Broncos are in a better headspace right now.
I agree with that, but I think the Raiders are going to do it because I think Antonio Pierce, he's just one of those dudes like the Raiders are done with Davante. That's why as soon as he said he wants to be traded, they were like, yep. Like, that was quick. It wasn't like you know how long Ayuk was trying to get out of Frisco? I'm trying to leave, and it was like, no, we not right. But Raiders, he said it Monday, Tuesday. They were like, we are looking. They
already set the draft with the email set up.
They've already heard exactly. So I think they'll be ready for Denver. I really do. And if Crosby comes back, because he was out last week because of his ankle, if he's back, that's like that spark that defense needs. He's like a Howie Long. Lyle Alzado, that type, not Howie, because Howie was more cool. Yeah. Lyle is more closer to Crosby. Crosby be at the UFC fights, all diamond out, tattoos everywhere, drinking, dating black girls. He wanted them.
Arizona at San Francisco.
Niners.
You know what? I'm going to go for Kyler and them this game. I'm going to go for Kyler because they dealing with too many injuries in Frisco. You already don't believe in Purdy, but I think Murray with Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm telling you, man. And they got I think Connor's still back there doing his thing. They're not like Cardinals. Listen, Frisco. If they win, I'm not gonna be surprised. But I could definitely see Arizona beating them. I saw what the Rams were able to do.
Yeah,
facts.
that's true.
Green Bay at Los Angeles. Green
Which
Bay.
one? Chargers or Rams?
For the Rams?
Yeah, the Rams.
I'm going with the Pack.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Jordan Love is back. He did not look good for 2 quarters, and then looked great for 2 other quarters. So we're gonna go with the Packers. Hopefully, he can make it more than 2 quarters of good play.
Yeah, Packers. New York, the New York Giants against the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, Seattle SmackDown.
Seattle.
Moving on to the night game. What's that?
Neighbors is out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah. So it's not even.
That's it.
So those were the 4 late afternoon games, but the night game, it all comes down to this: Dallas at my Pittsburgh Steelers, 8:20.
That's a tough one.
Sunday night.
Nigel, cover your ears. I am going to go with.
I already hate this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think Fields, like, it's going to be interesting to see what he does against that defense that is their pass. They're a pass defense. Like, that's what they do. You can run on them all day. So if they come with that RPO stuff and they're able to get that going, then that's the Steelers have a shot. Outside of that, just depending on Fields' arm, no way. No way. Because I think the defense will get tired because Dallas has a lot of players, a lot of fast receivers. Dak is going to be dinking and dunking. Like, just, Watt's human. He going to get tired eventually. You know what I mean? Like, chasing that. But if he get him a couple times, then he put that fear of God in him. And then how Dak get.
I think that this is a game that Tomlin really needs to mind his P's and Q's and be on his game plan. Like, I think this needs to be a very strategic and surgical offensive attack. And to your point, Caleb, yes, I agree. I think it's going to be a run first, like a classic Steelers run first, bore them to death. Fields will have his day. I don't think he's going to come away with more than 200 yards throwing. He's going to have a day. He's going to have to, because you can't just run at the Dallas Cowboys. You just can't.
Yeah, you can. That's all you really can do.
But my point is that their offense will combat that. Like Dallas' offense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't just.
But time.
Score points.
Clock management is going to be huge because
definitely.
if you can have those long, because the Dallas, they need reps to get going.
Right.
They need the rhythm. If you keep them off the field and then they come on and they get 3 and out because Zach misses one pass, CD catches one for 8 yards, and then they try to run with Zeke and they get tackled and they got a punt, and then you get the ball again and then it's a slow, and I don't care if it's 3. I don't care if you're just getting 3. That clock management is what beats that offense because they need reps. They need the rhythm. When they get the rhythm, they're really hard to stop. But when they're out of sync, man, listen. And then it's a must. They have to pass. Yeah. And that's when your boys can really pin their ears back and go get them. And so I think I agree with you. It's going to have to be a really disciplined game plan to protect Fields, because he's not a Ben Roethlisberger. He's not an Aaron Rodgers. He's not one of these quarterbacks that you go out there. If it was Josh Allen back there, the Steelers is winning all day.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, seriously, because with those receivers, that the Steelers, listen, they got wheels back there. They just got to have a guy that can get them the ball. Those receivers are nasty.
You said it. You said it earlier in the pod, Caleb. You said quarterback matters, right?
Yeah,
we all know it, but it just needs to be repeated. Quarterback matters.
So it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those games. But I'm looking at it. I'm like, I would expect the Cowboys to win simply because Dak is a better quarterback than Fields. But 2 major defensive pieces are missing for Dallas: Micah and Lawrence. Listen, who's going to step up and be that voice? Because Micah is that for the defense. And who's going to step up in those positions and get that kind of pressure? Because if Fields isn't pressured, let's not act like he's not in the league. He can definitely hurt you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So We'll
All right,
see.
moving on to the very last game of Week 5, the Monday Nighter, which is the New Orleans Saints. They travel over to Kansas City to
Woo!
beat up the Chiefs. We'll see. What do you think?
What did I say? It's quarterback game.
There it is.
Goat Mahomes. He's gonna figure it out. I don't care if he has to throw it this way, behind his back, through his leg. Don't matter.
They're not going 17-0, so they have to lose. Like they have to lose at some point. I don't think it's this week though. I don't think it's this week. But eventually, they're gonna have to lose to somebody though. They will, but yeah, I don't think it's this week.
All right. Well done, fellas. We ran through the gambit. And just so you know, the teams on bye, Detroit, Tennessee, Philadelphia, and the Chargers, they are just chilling this week. The bye week is aggressive, 4 teams out. And we are almost out ourselves. But I would be remiss if we didn't talk about these 2 topics. One, let's really get into the nitty-gritty and talk about this quick. So that's 2 very intense assignments I've given you. The Cat Randall trade. We're into the NBA. Let's talk about that recap. Who won the trade here? Cat, Randall. We know that Minnesota and New York have just made this trade a couple days ago, and it was blockbuster, and it took forever, it felt like, but it happened. Cat is now Nick. Randall is now Wolf. What do we think? Who won the trade?
I was shocked. I was definitely shocked. I was surprised. I mean, for all the hype, all the love of the Nova Knicks, that is Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and Mikal Bridges, right? That's, when they got Mikal, that's what they kept showing was clips of them in Nova, clips, or not even clips because they don't exist, but photoshops of them all in Knick jerseys. So to trade Dante away before they even play a game was just something that I still haven't processed. Like you said, the trade took place days ago. Randall, I know, Stephen A. been calling for Randall to get traded for years now. I didn't think that they would get some, because Randall, he's a really weird guy to assess his value because he's all NBA, right? He has the trophy to show for it. But what he does is like not really transferable. Like there's no Julius Randle copy in the league. There's not really anyone with that skill set. So I always felt like it was best to keep him in-house and just let him be him while, Jalen Brunson takes the reins. So I felt like they didn't need a trade at all. And then they made one. For Karl Anthony Towns, who is a fantastic player. I love Cat. They clown him because of his voice, after all that, they do all that. But he's a tremendous basketball player. I've always felt like I wanted him to be on the Knicks until the Knicks got fantastic. Then I'm like, oh, we don't need nobody. We good. And then of course that happens. We good. And now they get Karl Anthony Towns. So it's just I can't even process the trade. But to answer the question, who won the trade? Give me the T-Wolves. Now they got Ant Edwards. They got Julius Randle, who can create for himself and create for others, right? This is somebody who averages 5 assists per game. And they got Dante DiVincenzo hitting threes. Like, are you for real? They got one of the best three-point shooters in the league. It's a 2-for-1. I don't know how you can tell me the Knicks won this trade simply off of that fact alone. It's 2-for-1. You get one player. If Cat goes down, then, but at least on the T-Wolf side, if Randall goes down, you still got Dante. Like, you have 2 very key, we're talking top 8 in the rotation players that are going to help you win a championship and that can help you win a championship. Give me the T-Wolves all day. They won this trade.
Wow, hot take. Caleb.
I disagree. I think the Knicks did because of the East, right? The way that the East is designed. So now because you have somebody like Cat, now you get Porzingis out of the key, which Boston was able to do to keep the Knicks on the perimeter and wouldn't allow them in because they had that size on the inside. Also, Embiid, who can barely run anyway. So now he has to try to cover this dude who's going to be out shooting threes from 40 feet because he think he Steph Curry, right? So it changes the way that you can play defense. It stretches everybody. What Giannis going to do? Giannis got to come out because you got to defend it. You got to defend his shot. You can't act like he can't shoot, right? We could tease all day, but the brother can make them when he needs to, right? So that changes everything. Now Brunson is getting in. Now Hart. Now you're getting like, and don't forget my boy. I think it's DJ, the brother with the hamstring. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
OG. Yeah, one of them. You know what I mean? But like I said, you got like it changes the way that they have to play, and I think that is an advantage for the Knicks, right? And because the Knicks have never had that. Now you have your own big that is the best shooter out of everybody's big on the East. So now everybody has to respect that. You're pulling Bam out there. Bam can't be the rim protector no more. He got to come out to defend Cat, right? Like, I'm telling you, the lanes are open. Now that allows for the Knicks offense to run. I think it's great for them. And now your point about the T-Wolves, yeah, I think they do. Because when I saw Davante, I was like, ooh, that's a good one. Because you're right, he can shoot. But the West is built different. They're going to be out there on him, right? And the one dude who's not reliable is Julius Randle. I guarantee you he's going to get hurt, right? It's I'm telling you, man. So it's like, I think it was a blow to the Timberwolves because the West is a bunch of trees and you lost a piece. Like, that was major. He's the only reason why y'all actually got a game against the Mavs. You know what I'm saying? When he had the game where he blow up. It's like I'm serious. So it's gonna be, I think it's different. I think they both won in different ways, but I think for the Knicks, it was a big step forward for what they need to be competitive in the East now.
Well, yeah, want to be competitive and also the win now mentality. Once they figured out that they have the win now mentality, they're going for that win now mentality, which is so wild to think because it's opposite of what the Wolves are doing. Because the Wolves, I mean, they kind of surprised everybody. If you were on more tracking the Wolves out the gate, you're like, they're going to do some damage in the West, which they actually did. And it was shocking. They took out the Nuggets. They did the thing, but now they've got a different roster coming into next season.
Cat was a major part of them beating the Nuggets. They don't beat the Nuggets without Cat. And let me tell you, they're smaller now.
Yeah.
You lost size.
Yeah.
And a skill and somebody that can score. Gorbet, what's Rudy gonna do? What's Rudy gonna do?
He can defend. He's still their anchor.
He can defend. Great. How many points?
Oh, 4.
2, 4.
Okay,
right? Like that's I'm telling you, that means something.
Yeah, but whoa. Yeah. Julius Randle, Julius Randle is 24.
You're right.
Points.
No, he can give you that, but he's gonna have to get into the mix with Anthony. Because now that Cat's gone, it's like, listen.
Yeah, it was me, but now it's even more me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's fine. I don't see.
And I'm not saying he shouldn't be, but what I mean is they're gonna have to figure out a way to get in sync.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be different. I think Cat fits in with the Knicks a whole lot easier because they're like a band. I always say, everybody can't play the bass. Everybody can't be lead guitar. You need a drummer. You need the lead guitar. You need the bass. You need the lead singer. You can't have people trying to play the same thing. That ain't gonna work. And in New York, it's clear. It's clear. Yeah, like it is clear each position. Here we go. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's a better thing for the Knicks now, and they'll be able to move faster than what the T-Wolves will be able to do. Because every other team in the West is rock solid. They're all linked. Even the Lakers. Like they all know each other. They all roll. This is a new thing. And you got a kid who's emerging. So he's seeing himself differently now. All of that has to mesh before they can do something. So I think it may work for the Wolves later, but not now. I think for the Knicks, we're going to see that impact next season immediately.
Keeping it with basketball, obviously there's another playoff going on right now that nobody's talking about. Well, I shouldn't say nobody's talking about. People are talking about it. They're talking about the W. The W is going.
No, once Caitlin was out, don't nobody care.
That was
media ain't following it.
Yeah.
Media's like, oh yeah, Liberty and Aces. They're up 2-0. Anyway, so listen, in baseball last night, right? Like don't nobody. It's terrible. Nobody's even talking about the Sun series. You know what I mean? What they're doing. Non-existent.
But we will talk about Caitlin Clark just almost sweeping, nay, one vote, becoming, the rookie of the year. She got 66 out of 67 votes.
She deserves. I think she hit 172 threes or something like that. It's like
yeah. She really heated up that, a month and a half, maybe a little longer into the season, and then was just once the Olympics team was announced. After that, there was no contest. There was no contest.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wudi, I cut you off.
No, I was just saying she broke a lot of records. I was just adding to the accolades that she got. I'm not sure. I don't know if that last person that didn't vote for her, if he voted for Angel Reese.
Right.
I would imagine yes. I mean, probably. Angel also had a fantastic rookie season, breaking records. Oh, do you disagree? Caleb disagree?
No. I'm laughing because I'm like, that's not why he voted for Angel Reese.
Oh, yeah. That's probably not. Yeah, probably not.
Them older white men, they be like, "Woo, Angel." She be in them dresses. She be on there. They be like, "Woo." They like that.
Oh my God. So I think Caitlin probably deserved to get that unanimous. She deserved the 67 out of 67. We all have been kind of covering her story now for years, from college now to the pros, and I was probably one of the loudest people talking about, hey, look at these turnovers. Look at this percentage. She was able to improve on those things. You saw, the rookie, the rookie learning curve, went over the curve, carried her team to the playoffs, a team that had not been there in years, carried them to the playoffs. She was spectacular. Broke the WNBA record for triple doubles in a season, threes in a season, not rookie records. We're talking about in the history of the league. So she has definitely met the billing that we were giving her back in college. So I think, she probably deserved the clean sweep.
Yeah, it goes without saying, kudos to her and shout out to the Fever, because they're just gonna get better as Caitlin Clark gets better. Everything, all the pieces that are going to surround her. Last but certainly not least, in somebody's eyes, not mine, but probably Caleb's and probably Wudi's, let's talk about UFC 307. That is happening. Man, if you're not ready for it, get ready for it, because these two dudes are going to talk your ear off and let you know who you should be voting for. Wudi, let's start with you, since you are shadowboxing all kinds up in here in the virtual universe. UFC 307, who should we be looking out for? What's going on in that space?
Poatan, he's the biggest star in UFC. It's been such a joy to see his meteoric rise. Alex Pereira, in this industry, he has been spectacular. The reason why he joined UFC was to settle a score with Izzy Adesanya. Izzy has now fallen and Alex still rises, right? Izzy literally said, hey, this story is done. You know what I'm saying? So now Poatan is moving on, and he's about to face Khalil Roundtree, who honestly is a vicious, scary man. Holy. Just every strike is just thrown. Like, I feel like he don't even know how to hold back. Like, it's just everything is everything that he got. So it is a big fight. He was actually supposed to fight Jamal Hill for like a number one contender. It's like winner, goes back to Poatan. But when Jamal got hurt, they're like, you know what? Just face him anyway, because Poatan is the most active fighter. That's another thing, right? He is the most active fighter in the company, and he's a champ. Right?
He can whoop everybody's ass. That's why.
But see how many champs. Ilya Topuria, I know he's fighting next month, but he wins the belt. We don't see him, right? All these people win the belt. We don't see them for months. Leon Edwards was champ for like 18 months and fought 3 times, But Poatan, he's fight every month. He literally fought at 300 and was like, let me fight at 301. Like, he was hyped. So to see him fight, that's going to be a crazy main event. The last couple of times I was like, oh, I don't know. This person could surprise Poatan. I will not make that mistake again. Give me Poatan. Knockout. I don't know if it's the first round or the second round. Also, the fact that Khalil is just, all gas, no break. I feel like he's going to get tired. So if it does get into the later rounds, he will be gassed. His best chance is a first round knockout when he has all that strength and energy. Also, the other fight I want to highlight is the women's championship between Rocky Pennington and Juliana Pena. I cannot believe that Pena is an underdog. I mean, I don't know if you guys gamble or whatever. I am putting everything I own on Pena.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
She's gonna dominate. Like Raquel, I don't even know. Like if you saw the fight where she won the belt, like I felt like she won it.
The women's divisions are garbage. There's only a few of them that can actually fight, and Pena is one of them. Valentina's the other. There's definitely a couple. Like that's the only super fight they got is Valentina and Pena, and they can because Pena beat Amanda, right? Valentina beat her but never got the credit, right? So it's like, and that could get the Lioness to come back for one more fight. If they were to fight and then that winner's call her out, she'll get off the couch for that because it's a big check that Dana can get. That's how they got to do it. There's really nothing. There's nobody else in the women's division that can do it. Kayla Harrison, I'm talking about, she got a name. But she can do it, but she's too big, right? She's got to come down, right? She has to drop some of that weight. But Pena is only one division above Valentina. Valentina has no problem going up and fighting Pena, or however that is, and that's the only super fight that they got. I think Pena absolutely beats Raquel. Raquel has no business being in there with Pena anyway. I'm telling you, like the level is. I'm telling you, it's comical. It really is. You think?
Can you believe that they have her as the underdog?
It's because she hasn't fought since for like a year or 2 years or whatever. So Pena's gonna beat her. The fight is her and Valentina. That's it. Valentina has nobody else to fight. After she beat Grasso, that's it. That's it. It's over. And they're not gonna fight again. Dana's not booking that fight. Nobody wants to see it. It's over. Right? So that's the only thing in women's UFC that they can have is those two fight. And they could do it twice. Like it depends. If the first fight is great, they could do it again. But it's what can get the Lioness excited to come out and fight again, because that's what the women's division needs. They need that. Now, to Poatan, I agree. I think Poatan beats Roundtree. Roundtree is explosive. He's powerful. He can definitely beat him. But will he? See, can and will are two very different things. People always get that confused. They'll ask questions. Can the Cowboys win? Well, yeah, but will they? Right? Like that's the thing. I don't think he will. One thing I saw in Izzy's interview this morning when he was talking with Joe Rogan, he said something about Poatan, because now that their stuff is over, he's really talking about like this dude. And he said his foot, so he was like, this part of his foot, like the outside ball of your foot, like that. He says it's like a hammer on Poatan. He says why when he throws his kick, he doesn't have to turn his hip over, right? Because turning the hip over telegraphs, you can see it. Everybody else has to create that boom. He doesn't. He just has to go boop, boop. And Izzy says when it hits you, your mind says, ooh, that's bad. Like I'm like, damn. And he said because Roundtree needs his legs because he's explosive. He said, I'm telling you now, boom. Roundtree's gonna be like, ooh, boom, boom. And it's quick, and he don't have to telegraph it. It's right there every time. That's going to slow you down. He said, in the second you switch your leg, it's a wrap, right? He says, but Roundtree is a southpaw. So that's what Rogan brought up. And he said, so his leg, that outside leg won't be there. He said, it don't matter. Alex will switch it. I promise you, it's a wrap. He said, and then Alex said, I'm just gonna use his emotions against him. You know how he, like, just straight up nothing. It's already done. Roundtree's got a shot the first 90 seconds. After that, it's in your head. The juju, the spirits, the gods, all of that everybody says he really got, which is just deep belief in himself, the God within him. It's it's going to be that. Could he do it? Absolutely. He's in the UFC. He's powerful. He could get a leaping shot. He could catch something. He could hit Poetan. Poetan like, whoa, I didn't know you had that in you. You know what I mean? Anything can happen, but I don't foresee it that way. But it would be great if it did, because it just creates another storyline for Poetan, which he's the best at. Like, he's just great. You know what I mean? And Jamal Hill, I don't even want to hear his name mentioned. Garbage. He's garbage. I swear. He's so whack. And anytime he can get it right there, oh, I'm hurt. Oh, my goodness. You know what I mean? After this happened, that was it. That was it. I'm surprised he still got a woman. I'm surprised his woman's still with him after that.
Oh.
It's hard. Hey, listen. Oh,
No,
you think that's not a thing? Let you get your ass whooped in front of your woman after you was talking shit all these months. Yeah, baby. Yeah. See, I'm in the gym every day. I'm ready. And then 90 seconds later, this dude talking about. Next time you put some bass in your voice, the woman be like, "You need to be quiet before I call Poetan up over here." Hey, why you got to? Okay, you know what, baby? You something else. You something else. That's all you gonna say. You said, okay, you something else. You ain't got nothing else to say, because you know you don't want none of that. Matter of fact, go take that trash out before I call Alex. Yeah.
Take that trash out, because we out. Wudi, do you have anything else to say? I felt like you were jumping on just in case.
No. I got nothing else. The only thing, if we're talking about parting words, is a big rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Pete Rose, two legends of their sport. It's unfortunate, because each deserves their own tribute. So I hate to just, group them together like that, but it was the same day where we lost these legends. Obviously, Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle, all-time hits leader. There actually is a documentary that just came out recently about him. I believe it's on Peacock. So if you are unfamiliar with all of the accolades of the 17-time MLB All-Star, definitely look it up. And then for Dikembe Mutombo, what they always say about him is just heart of gold, fierce on the court, always willing to block your shot on the court, the all-time, or I think second all-time in the NBA with blocks, but off the court, willing to give you that assist all day, every day. One of the most charitable human beings. What he's done for his home country of the Congo and all that. So I definitely just wanted to acknowledge those all-time greats.
Thank you for doing that. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Caleb, any weekend words?
Don't forget, you got to add John Amos. That's James Evans. See, a lot of people, you may not know about that. You know what I'm saying? That's good time. Or the dad in Coming to America, the owner of Cleo McDowell. Okay, yes. Like,
well, Kunta Kinte, he was Kunta. I don't know how many people seen Roos.
Right, exactly. But you know what I mean. But that, I know people may know the Coming to America, Cleo McDowell, the dad. Okay, that's John Amos. Man, rest in peace to him as well. Death come in threes. Dikembe, absolutely, and it's horrible. He was only 58, brain cancer, just horrific, gone way too soon. Charlie Hustle, man, I love Pete Rose, and I hope to goodness they give him the posthumous entry into the Hall of Fame, where he absolutely deserves to be, hands down. I don't care about no gambling, nothing, betting on nothing. I don't care. That man's what he did in that diamond on those fields of dreams. Stop it. It's a sin against God not to have that man in there for something stupid like gambling, that he never bet against his team to lose while he was the manager, always to win. That does mean something. I get he's still breaking the rule, but that does mean something. That means he wasn't changing the integrity of it. So there's which is the whole base of why he was blackballed the way that he was. You know what I mean? But anyway, I digress. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
We lost a lot of good ones. We continue to lose a lot of good ones. So hug your loved ones as tight and as possible from now until infinity. And you know what? We are done for today. Another fantastic Friday. Make sure you have yourself a good one. Have an even better weekend because there's tons of sports to watch and to share and to just talk smack over. So make sure you do the thing. Thank you once again for listening to the Pop Off, man. We did it right here on Uptown TV Network. We appreciate you. Shout out to Gene. We will see him next week. We will all be back next week. Have a great time, and we'll see you soon, Tom. Peace.